Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Razer Siren Mini. Now, the Razer Siren Mini is a pretty cool microphone. It's got some neat things about it, and it's got some not so neat things about it. But before we talk about those, we should probably talk about the unboxing experience. Now, unboxing this device was actually pretty neat, because Razer did the cool thing of making it so that the box flipped up, and also made it so that then all of the things that you need are inside little packages like this. That in itself for me enhanced the unboxing experience, because to me it showed that even on this $50 product, Razer did care about it getting damaged and shipping. And that we know is a good thing, especially when the microphone uses a micro USB cable. This is a first generation microphone, and also the microphone is kind of old. With the microphone being released in 2020, you would expect it to have some neat features with it, right? I mean, it was $50, and it's also a microphone made by a gaming company who knows a thing or two about software. However, it doesn't. Now, all this microphone really has to offer is a stand, which is pretty decent. It's one of those movable stands where you basically just move it by grabbing the microphone and rotating it. Came with that and a pretty long 6-foot cable. Now, the Razer Siren Mini is a condenser microphone, meaning that it is meant to pick you up even from farther away. And it does this pretty well. In fact, right now you're actually hearing this microphone. Not bad, right? And I do have to say that this microphone, when far away, does actually sound pretty decent, and especially when you add some effects in post, which I didn't need to do, and you're actually hearing the microphone right now. No post-processing, no nothing, and it sounds really good. Now, in terms of using this for Zoom calls and things like that, well, it's either way, and that's pretty low profile, so it doesn't take up as much space on your desk as would having one of these would. Now, speaking of space on your desk, we should talk about on how well it does against typing sounds and clicking sounds. Now there's one more test that I want to run on this thing before we're done, and that is to see on how well this thing does compared to other microphones, like my camera microphone or my AKG 120. Will it do good? Who knows? Only time will tell. This is a test of the Razer Siren Mini, right in front of my face with no post-processing. There's absolutely no post-processing on this microphone right now, so popsicles are the absolute best. The amount of popping that you are hearing right now is probably insane. You know, I've heard that Excaliburs are better than Razers. I mean, Razers are fine, but you can't really kill anyone with a Razer. You can with an Excalibur though, right? This is a test of the AKG 120, same exact distance away from my mouth as the Razer Siren Mini, and you know what? I gotta say, AKG makes pretty good stuff. Though, if you compare them to Samsung, not necessarily the best. Because, you know, their partnership with Samsung kind of ruined their brand, I gotta say. Because their pre-Samsung stuff like this, it's pretty good. You know what else is pretty good? And that subscribe button. And stay tuned for more reviews. Gotta say, it does pretty good against all of those. There's one thing that I do have to say that I do like with this microphone is that while on some microphones, whenever you type or click or anything like that, it comes out extra bassy. But on this one, Razer actually figured out a way to remove that extra bass, and honestly makes it sound tolerable to type next to. Talking while typing, let's see, will it pick up more me or will it pick up more my keyboard? Already through the audio monitoring, I can already hear a good mix of both, which is pretty good. And now here it is with noise suppression. Let's see how that works. Right, noise suppression, clicking, clacking, and playing. Not bad. Good job, Razer. And all I'm doing here is just using a video broadcast. That's it. I don't want to use anything too much because I want to make sure that you, as a streamer, no matter what GPU, no matter what computer you're using, can use the same exact settings I do. And speaking of settings, there's really nothing customizable about this other than just what you have already installed on your computer. It doesn't work with Synapse, and it doesn't have its own software whatsoever. So this is basically just a plug-and-play microphone that sits nicely on your desk, and something that I'd highly recommend. For me anyways, I probably won't actually use this thing. And that's because of one huge issue. The way that this microphone is built is pretty simple. First, you have the microphone. Then you have the piece that connects the microphone to its base. Now this piece was built probably the worst way possible, and it was built using plastic threads Now, as someone who's in construction and who knows a thing or two about threading, that is the worst thing you could possibly do, Razer. And the main reason being is that plastic on plastic wears out over time. Meaning that if you are constantly switching microphones over for reviews and stuff like that, this thing will break easily. And also too, with this microphone, if you are using this for like your main recording device or for like your main filming device, this thing is so small that when you put it onto a tripod, you actually have to rely on your tripod mount having an adjustment. Because if you don't have an adjustment, this thing doesn't either. Because that adjustment head that this thing has is on the base instead of on the connector point. That just sounds like a stupid design. But in reality, it's not. Because that would have added one more point of failure to a microphone that already has two. Wait, what is that second point of failure again? Micro USB. Now, while micro USB is actually a pretty good connector, the way that they implemented this, I'm kind of worried about it because it's a connector that goes into the back of the microphone and it hides in with the rest of the body. Now, this design is good in the looks department, but inside of the actual use department, it really isn't. Because if you have your microphone stretched pretty far out, there's a good chance that you may not have a long enough cable included. Now for me anyways, when I actually use this on stream, the cable was just perfect. It's up within like the last half an hour, but yeah. Sounds good. Everything looks good. Let's go through and find our first actual song. Now I would have loved it to have just a little bit more length so I could have wrapped it on my computer so there'd be no way of that cable being visible, but when I used it on stream, it worked perfectly. It did a pretty good job of rejecting the noise from my bass, and when I even applied a noise suppression thing into it, that also did a pretty good job of helping it. And I would say I think I'm doing a pretty good job here of helping you end this video. So my recommendation is, if you like Razer products and you like cheap microphones, go for it. But if you don't like cheap microphones and you don't like Razer products, I'd rather you pick up an AKG P120 or a Elgato Wave 1 or basically any of those microphones, because hey, if you spend $40 or more, you're going to get $40 or more value. Except if it's Logitech, then you're getting less value. But anyways, I want to go through and to redirect you to watching this video on the Logitech Brio 300, which is Logitech's budget webcam that is actually really surprisingly good. And then I also want to go through and to let you check out this video right here, which is my video review on the Elgato Stream Deck Mark II. Thanks for watching.